Hiya, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. So in honor of this weekend being Kentucky Derby and today being Thurby, I thought let's make something fun. So I am not a drinker of alcohol, but I have always thought that the mint julep was such a beautiful drink. And anybody that's ever been to the Kentucky Derby knows that's the drink of choice. Everybody has to get a mint julep if they go to the Derby. So I thought let's make one at home. So we made some peppermint simple syrup and we added some ginger ale in place of the bourbon, and we made ourselves a little mocktail. And look how beautiful that is. It is so refreshing and delicious. You could drink it any time of year, especially in the summer. I think this would be absolutely outstanding. It was a lot of fun to make, so let's get cooking. Well, happy Thurby. That's what they call it around these parts. You know, this Saturday is the Kentucky Derby, and so Thursday things really start to ramp up around this area. We live about 30 minutes north of there, and a lot of people fly in for this event. I'm sure there's a lot of fancy, popular, well-known people coming into town for this weekend. So it's kind of exciting. So I thought, why not, since we are celebrating the Kentucky Derby this weekend, let's do a couple of recipes this week for the Kentucky Derby. This is going to be a mocktail mint julep. So my husband and I, neither one consume alcohol for medical reasons. And so it's not something that we drink. So I found a recipe for a mocktail, and it uses ginger ale in place of the bourbon. So if you want to make just a really traditional mint julep and you do like the taste of bourbon, then you can absolutely sub out the ginger ale for the bourbon. But first we have to get our simple syrup done, and that's the whole most special part of the whole drink is the mint part, the mint simple syrup that goes into it. So we're going to make it from scratch today. There are a few ways, I'm sure you could buy it already made, but I thought, why not? It's more fun doing it from scratch. So super easy. 3 ingredients to this simple syrup. We have 1 cup of water. We're going to put that right in our pan. 1/2 cup of sugar. That's going in our pan. We're going to turn our eye on medium, so about 6. And we're just going to let this warm up in here, and I'm going to stir it and let that sugar dissolve. So as soon as the sugar is completely dissolved and it is nice and warm, then we will take it to the next step. So I'll be right back. My sugar is completely dissolved now. It's a beautiful golden color because I use that organic sugar. So it's got just a little bit of a golden color to it. So it is completely dissolved. So now I'm going to take a cup of mint, and I've got 2 different types of mint here. I have some mint growing here that I grow in my garden, and there wasn't quite enough of it up and ready to harvest right now, so I did buy some mint in the store. So the big leaves are the leaves from the store, and the little baby leaves, those are the mint from my garden. So it takes a cup, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop that right in. And it looks like a lot, but it's really not that much. I'm going to turn my heat up to about 8, so a medium high. And now we're just going to let this cook and simmer in here until it comes to a nice soft boil. And once it comes to that soft boil, then I'm going to turn my heat down, put a lid on it, and we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. I'm really excited about using my own mint. I love mint tea. So in the summertime, I love to make some mint tea, and I'll drink it hot in the summertime. I don't care to drink hot tea in the summer, but it's really refreshing over ice too. And it's just a very simple mint and water and a little sugar, and you're good to go. It's just a really sweet, refreshing tea in the summertime. One of my Amish neighbors down the road, Amelia, she has some mint also, and it's a different type of mint. So sometimes I'll go and get hers. It's not really a spearmint, but it almost tastes a little bit spearminty to me. But she has, and her plants are really big. They get really nice and big. So sometimes I go and borrow a few of her mint leaves, and I make some mint tea with that too. All right, it's starting to steam. You can see the steam coming off of it, but it's not boiling yet. So we're just gonna stir it. You don't have to stir it constantly, just kind of occasionally, but since I'm here with you, I figured I might as well just go ahead and keep stirring. And it's not really stirring so much as it is just kind of moving those leaves around so that they don't sit on the bottom and get burned. It shouldn't take it too long to come to a boil because there's not a whole lot of water in here. It's only 1 cup. And just so you know, this should make 4 glasses of mint julep. Those leaves are starting to wilt down now. Come over here and I'll show you. Now it's starting to simmer a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. I don't know why I whispered that, but it really smells good. And I did rinse all of my leaves off, even the ones I got here out of my garden. I don't use any kind of sprays or anything, but I did rinse all of them off before I put them in here. Just a heads up on that. All right, so we are boiling now, so I'm gonna turn my heat down to low, and we're going to put this lid on it. I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. And when that's done, I'll be back. Timer went off, so it is done. I've turned my burner off, and so now we're going to take it off the burner and we're going to let it sit covered and until it completely cools. You don't want to do anything with it until it's completely cooled. And of course, that can be as long as you want. You could even let it sit overnight if you want. The longer you let it sit, the stronger that mint flavor is going to be and the tastier it's gonna be. So I'm probably gonna leave it sit here for a few hours and just make sure it's completely cooled before I take it to the next step. But when I do, I will be back because I won't do it without you. Hang tight. It is completely cooled off, so I'm gonna take my lid off. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So that's what it looks like. Just some beautiful, simple syrup. So we're going to take this and I'm going to pour it through this little strainer into my funnel and then into my little bottle here to strain out those leaves, just in case any fall out. And I am actually, I'm gonna put them out into that little strainer so that I can press them to get some of those flavors and oils out. All right. So I'm just going to use my little soft spatula. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit in there. There's quite a bit coming out. We don't want to leave any of that goodness in there. All right, there it is. Some beautiful peppermint simple syrup. I'm so excited to try this. And I think we've made enough to do a couple of glasses. So here's my glass with my crushed ice. And I'm going to take my ginger ale. You're supposed to put a half a cup of ginger ale. Now, if you don't want this as sweet, you can cut back on the amount of sugar you put in the simple syrup. So instead of half a cup, if you want to do just a quarter of a cup and it wouldn't be quite as sweet, you could absolutely do that. Everything else would be the same. You would just cut back on the sugar. So there's my half a cup of ginger ale. This is where you would sub out the bourbon if you wanted to use bourbon. So there's that. And then we need a quarter cup of the simple syrup. So there's my quarter cup. So we put that in. We're going to give it a little stir here. And then you want to put your little mint on the side. So you just tuck your mint down in there, and there is your mint julep. Let's give it a taste. Stir it up just a little bit more. Thought those yellow straws were pretty. I got those from Y'all Sweet Tea. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. Oh my word. That's delicious. That is so refreshing. I can't imagine what it would taste like with bourbon. I don't like alcohol at all, but that is absolutely phenomenal. So there you go, guys. Happy Thurby. There is your Mocktail Mint Julep. I think it looks so pretty. That is just a beautiful glass of refreshing drink right there. You could have this any time of year. You don't have to wait for the Kentucky Derby. All right, guys, that's it. Happy Thurby. I hope you enjoyed this video. So you know what I need you to do now. I need you to share it with your family and friends. Spread it around like some good butter so that everybody can see how fun it is to get in the kitchen, make a little mocktail. It was a lot of fun. Very, very worth it too. Worth the wait. It took a few hours for that simple syrup to cool off. Totally worth the wait. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you like and comment, do all the reactions so that Facebook and YouTube know that you like what I'm sharing with you, and they will show it to you first every time I post a new video. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe and the notification bell all, because as soon as you do that, YouTube will notify you every time I post a new video. Guys, I love you so much. God loves you even more than I do. And remember, He is the silent listener at every conversation and the unseen guest at every dinner table. So just make sure that those words coming out of your mouth are uplifting, loving, pure and sweet like honey, and that you're shining your light, because that's what we're called to do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.